By the end of this video, you will see how to create a full recipe in the FoodCostChef Calculator, fully costed out. We'll also add a couple of suppliers and menu categories just to get the ball rolling. Once you've passed the setup stage, that's another video. From the home page, you navigate to Chef Tables. There's a lot to soak in here, but we will only concentrate on changing a few things on this page so that we can write a recipe for a simple pepperoni pizza. That's all we're doing. So in this recipe category column, I'm going to add a new item called pizza. I could easily add a pizza recipe to like the lunch or dinner menu, for example. We're just going to go with its own category. Pizza, press enter, and it's done. You can and you should rename all these categories in this area according to your menu. You should actually do that before you start writing any recipes. Now, I do need to add a couple suppliers here because I will need those suppliers to actually add stock to my ingredients list, which you'll see in a moment. Okay, Costco Business, definitely going to add that. MVR Cash and Carry. These are both located here in Toronto. You're going to deal with your own suppliers. Now, since we've added these suppliers, they will be in my drop-down list when we make the recipe. If your supplier is not here, you'll have to add it before you can add it to a recipe. You're going to see that right here. Okay, let's click the Home tab here, then choose Add New Ingredient. As you do that, you'll be brought to the ingredients list page and an input window will already be up waiting for your product info. Let's start at the top with pizza dough. We're just going to use frozen and prepared products for this example, so don't get all chefy on me because we can change all of this later. Just listen and watch how fast this is. I already made these categories, but again, they can be called anything. Mine here is frozen. Then add the brand name, Mimi Foods. The supplier is MVR, and you can see how these are selectable from the drop-down list now. Okay, interesting stuff here. As purchased as a general descriptor of the product. You can write anything in here, but the words you select can help in search efforts later when you have, multiple items with similar names or product variations. It will even help you if someone else is doing your ordering. They can refer to the recipe by search and it'll show, the exact product details as you originally input them. So this box has 25 by 8-ounce dough balls. The cost of the box is $38.49. As purchased units, in this case, I could use ounces, but since all of the pizzas will be using a single dough, I am just going to use the unit each. Either will work. This is just my preference, and I can show you later how we can do it in ounces. Now, my as purchased quantity is 25. That's 25 each. I put in a yield here for all of my products, but I'm not going to explain that in this video. There is an entire rationale behind this, and it's worthy of a video on its own. So here we are, just added our first inventory item. The software is giving you the option of adding another because normally you'll be adding a few items at a time, like from a price list or invoice, for example. I click yes because we need more stuff for this awesome pizza. All right, all-purpose flour, dry goods, brand name is Ardent Mills, supplier is Costco Business, as purchased is a 20 kilogram bag. It costs $23.99. My as purchased units are going to be kg, that's in there already, and my as purchased quantity is 20. So the AP is basically a descriptor of what you are buying, but these three, the as purchased dollars, the as purchased units, and as purchased quantity must be accurate because this is where the food cost and conversions are extracted and they're used in your recipes. The math is done right here in the background. Okay, let's go with my standard 95% yield, which is very debatable for flour, but we don't have to deal with that now. Okay, let's continue. We've got some more ingredients. Pizziola sauce, dry goods. That is a Stanislaus product, very good quality. I love their stuff. MVR is my supplier. As purchased is a 100-ounce can. typical industry standard. It costs $10.44. As purchased units are ounce. As purchased quantity is 100. And my yield is going to be 95% again. Done. Brings me back to the ingredients page. And yes, I still want to add a couple more items. Pepperoni, slice. Category is meat. Brand is Venetian. Looks good. As purchased, it's a 2.5 kilogram bag. As purchased dollars is $34.80. As purchased unit, kilograms. As purchased quantity, 2.5. Yield is 95%. Now for the mozzarella, shredded. The category is dairy. The brand is Salerno. And the supplier is Costco Business. That's from my drop-down list. As purchased is 4 times 2.5 bags. The cost is $167.21. As purchased unit, kilograms. As purchased quantity is actually 10 kilograms. That's 4 times 2.5. And my cheese will yield 95%. Okay, next I want to add semolina flour for handling the dough. Add here semolina, dry goods. The brand is Click, Costco Business. As purchased is a 10 kilogram bag, straight up. As purchased dollars is $28.19. As purchased unit is kilogram. And as purchased quantity is 10. And done, because we now have our dough, our flours, sauce, pepperoni, and cheese. All of the details of these items are listed here. And again, we will go into depth on this stuff later, but for now, let's just write the pizza recipe. So you can navigate through these tabs down here if you like, but also you can always return to the home page here and click Add New Recipe. As soon as you do that, you'll be brought to the recipe summary page with an input window ready for you to start adding the pizza recipe. I'll start with pizza, and then I'm going to add pepperoni. I started with pizza because it might make it easier for search later if I only want to see pizza recipes. Now, you'll remember I created my own category before, so I will scroll down and choose the pizza category for this recipe. Now your screen changes to a recipe card. The first place you want to start is adding the ingredients for your pizza. You'll notice this is a drop-down list, which means that any item you use in this recipe, it has to be in your ingredients list already. I hope that makes sense to you. Here we go with the dough, and you can see that a dough item appears in the drop-down. When you have multiple items with the word dough in it, they'll be included in that drop-down list, and you have to select the right one. Now, remember, I chose each as the measuring unit for this, so I'm just going to enter 1. Our cost per dough immediately shows up here, and you can see that the total batch cost is starting to tabulate here already. For my sauce, I'm going to use a lighter amount of maybe 55 milliliters. Zap! Oh, there's an error. Okay, so I used milliliters, which I know the can is 100 ounces, so it should convert, right? But let me go back and see. So in this list of ingredients, it shows 100 ounces, but let me click on Edit Ingredient and get that window back up. You will see my error right here. It's not ounce, it should be fluid ounce. That's different. The FoodCostChef Calculator can convert all kinds of measurements, but it cannot convert weight to volume or vice versa. I definitely have workarounds for that, which we'll talk about later. Understand that when entering items in weight or volume, you may have recipes that call for the opposite of what you have in your ingredient. More on that later, but I have corrected my mistake here, so I'm going to click OK. Back in the recipe sheet, oh, look at that. No more error. The software converted fluid ounces to milliliters, and it worked out the cost instantly. Let's add more. Mozzarella. We will need 75 grams. Pepperoni, we will need 40 grams. Now we have ingredients, starting with the dough, sauce, cheese, pepperoni. But we did use flour to handle the dough and slide it into the oven. And I like to use a 50-50 mix of all-purpose flour and semolina for this. So I will add 6 grams of each to the recipe. Now, check this out. We have our total cost per pepperoni pizza. Since these are individual size servings, I'm just going to put 1 here, so no math involved. But let's say it's for 2. We can just switch that to 2. You would just change it, and then the math kicks in. But I'll change it back to 1 and add a menu price of, let's say, 14. So that calculates your retail gross profit, and my retail food cost percentage is just under 27%. Not bad. You also have this custom price, which could be a special price, a pickup price, a takeout price, or just another price to think about when creating your menu. I can plug that in here. We'll go with $16. And at that rate, I'm getting 23.5% food cost. A little better. Something to think about. Okay, now you have your first recipe costed out. And from the home page, if you want to click View, Edit Recipes, you can see a summary of all of your recipes here and shows some vital statistics in each menu item. Everything cool? Okay. I know that was fast, but we're going to explore this recipe and others using some other features of the FoodCostChef Calculator. Trust me, we've just scratched the surface of this software. Okay, I'll see you in the next video. Now go cook.